Stand in the Roman Forum on a spring morning in the year 400, and you would swear the empire was eternal. Marble gleams under the sun. 1,000,000 people move through streets older than memory. And yet, within a single human lifetime, this city, the greatest the world has ever known, will be broken open by men on horseback. This is Rome, in its final golden hour. Though almost no one inside it knows the hour is already late. By the turn of the 5th century, Rome has already ruled for over 1,000 years. It has swallowed Gaul, Egypt, Britain, and half the known world. Its roads stretch further than any empire before it. Its aqueducts still carry water across mountains and valleys into the heart of the city, feeding fountains, baths, and homes of the wealthy.
To the average citizen walking the Via Sacra this morning, the empire feels less like a nation and more like the natural order of the universe, as permanent as the sun rising over the Palatine Hill. But far beyond the borders, in the cold forests and river valleys of the north, pressure is building. And in the capital itself, something quieter and more dangerous has already begun. Rot from the inside.
A city of 1,000,000 souls. Rome in the year 400 is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Over 1,000,000 people are packed into its walls, more than any city would hold again for over 1,000 years. The air smells of bread baking in public ovens, of incense drifting from temple steps, of sweat and perfume in the crowded markets near the Forum Boarium. Senators in togas move through crowds of laborers, slaves, soldiers, and merchants from every corner of the empire. Syrians, Gauls, Numidians, Greeks.
The Colosseum still holds spectacles, though the old blood sports are fading. The Circus Maximus can seat 250,000 people for a single chariot race, the roar of the crowd audible for miles. This is a city built to feel indestructible. But indestructible things have a way of surprising you.
The cracks beneath the marble, behind the monuments, the empire's foundations are shifting. The government has split in two, east and west, each with its own emperor, its own court, its own priorities. The western capital isn't even Rome anymore. It has quietly moved to Ravenna, a marshy city better protected by natural defenses. Taxes are crushing small farmers. Wealthy landowners hoard grain while the poor grow desperate. The army, once the pride of the legions, now depends heavily on foreign soldiers. Goths, Vandals, and other peoples the Romans once called barbarians, to fill its ranks. Rome has not lost its power yet, but it has started to lose its grip.
The Goths at the gate. In the year 410, something happens that has not happened in nearly 800 years. A Visigothic king named Alaric, once a Roman ally, now a bitter enemy, marches his army to the very walls of Rome. He has demanded gold, land, and recognition, and been refused again and again by a government too proud or too paralyzed to negotiate. On the night of August 24th, gates that should have held firm are opened. Whether by betrayal or desperation, historians still debate. Gothic warriors pour into the streets. For 3 days, the city that once conquered the world burns and bleeds under foreign swords. Word spreads across the empire like a shockwave. Rome has fallen, not to distant myth, but to men who watch their own children starve outside its walls.
A wound that would not heal. Rome survives the sack of 410, but it is never quite the same. the illusion of permanence is broken. St. Jerome, writing from faraway Bethlehem, describes his own horror at hearing that Rome, the city that seemed to hold up the sky, could be violated.
Yet, remarkably, life continues. Markets reopen, temples and churches are repaired. The Senate still meets. To visitors passing through the coming decades, Rome would still appear magnificent, even as its emperors grow weaker, its treasury emptier, and its army increasingly dependent on the very peoples it once called enemies.
The final blow. Decades pass. Emperors rise and fall in rapid, almost forgettable succession. Many controlled by powerful military generals behind the throne. Then, in 476, a Germanic officer named Odoacer does something no one had dared do outright before. He does not sack the city. He does not burn it. He simply removes the last Western Roman emperor, a teenage boy with the ironic name Romulus Augustulus, echoing the city's legendary founder.
Odoacer sends the imperial regalia to Constantinople and declares that the West no longer needs an emperor at all. There is no dramatic final battle, no last stand on the Capitoline Hill. The Western Roman Empire simply stops. Not with an explosion, but with a quiet administrative decision that later historians would mark as the end of an age.
And yet, despite invasions, betrayals, economic collapse, and the slow erosion of an empire that once ruled the known world, Rome itself did not disappear. The city endured. Its language shaped the Romance tongue spoken by hundreds of millions today. Its laws still echo through modern legal systems. Its architecture inspired governments and monuments across the globe for the next 15 centuries.
The empire fell, but the idea of Rome never really did. History never truly disappears. It just changes shape and waits to be rediscovered. If this journey through Rome's final golden hour fascinated you, consider subscribing for more cinematic history brought back to life. And in the comments, tell us, which lost city or empire should we walk through next?